Hi guys, welcome to this video. I've just downloaded ArcoLinux 2023-0701. So every month ArcoLinux.org releases an ISO, and every month you get the latest kernel, latest drivers on it. I've already installed it, as you can see, with system dboot. It's always going to be black. It's not nice in the sense that it's not graphical, but it doesn't matter because it just needs to boot and be reliable, more important than design. And this is me having Xfce chosen for Xfce system dboot. I think I chose Pulse Audio again. Yeah, Ext4. No special things, so just boot EFI and then root. No complexity on my end. Chose the installed Firefox. That's where I started with. So installed Firefox, then went to Paru, to the GitHub, and they said exactly what I need to do to actually have it, to build it. So Control T, there are some commands that we should have done. No, these things, this is where it starts, right? Git clone, Paru git, there you are finally. So GitHub Paru is where I went, and it actually says what you need to do. So I just build it, sudo pacman-s this one, then you copy paste that in the terminal, and then cd paru, and then you make the package, and I've got Paru. After that, yes, I know, after that I said let's do a Paru ArcoLinux, and I got myself ArcoLinux app Glade. So that's in. After installing that, I said go grab me the ArcoLinux Spices application. That means get the keys and get the mirrors on ArcoLinux. If I got that, I installed the ATT, and in the meantime, well, later on I said get Nemesis on ATT, on ArcoLinux or on ATT, doesn't matter, something, right? And then I ran the script that comes in, and this is what you get, right? This is the setup you get. I went to ATT and told them in the services that I would like to have my proper extra commands like update and upall that are present. Okay, so the bash OC is there as well. So basically, from ArcoLinux you can make an ArcoLinux, right? Because it's the same basis, it's the same thing. ArcoLinux just has configs, more configs to make things look nice, have aliases and all that. Now, this is not the topic of the video. The topic of the video is actually, let's reinstall it, but I wanted to show you this before I do the other video. This is the arch install. So the package arch install. Let's go to the website at ArcoLinux, which is bigger than the word, well, the ISOs ArcoLinux. It also contains stuff like LCI and Ariser. Carly is here. So there's lots and lots of things to learn, and that's why we are rather proud to call it a little bit an ArcoLinux university, but without a degree. But do learn, because there's so much knowledge here. What we're talking about is the phase 7. So this gets gradually more and more complex. And in phase 7 we say let's do it the archway install. This is what I like to check out from the newer systems. These are the old systems, but please do not install Linux on old hardware. It deserves the latest, the best hardware out there. Okay, so I'm going to do this one, and then phase 2, 3, 4, which is actually this all in one. So there are two ways to install ArcoLinux, right? And one of the things I really like is the arch install way of things. So I just did this without recording anything, so this is the result, right? And the other one I checked on YouTube. The other one has been like 7 months ago. So what I would like to do with this ArcoLinux ISO of July, see if this and this and this and finally this is still working. Should be added, should be changed. So this is the page I'm going to use on my other screen, and I'm follow it, because this is the way ArcoLinux says you should do it. So this is the ArchWiki way of installing stuff. So first of all, we're gonna reboot. And by the way, maybe I should have show you that as well before I format it. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. So yes, Chadwm, it's there, right? It's there. And then SuperX shutdown. So let's record the ArcoLinux way of installing things, see if it still is up to date and if I should change it. The optical drive is in, I boot it up, and he thinks he should boot up from ArcoLinux, which is cool, but no, go for the firmware interface, because I need the boot manager to tell him boot from the CD-ROM. So that's the official one from ArcoLinux.org. I did not build it myself with the AAG. Alright, so the official one. Know that if you go via this way, that's, well, ArcoLinux has something called Pacman in its service. You have to wait till that service is finished, otherwise you always get problems, key errors, issues. But since this is the ArcoLinux way of installing things, you can't type that fast. You can't run into issues. All right. First of all, I have to open on my second screen. Ctrl-Alt-F. Go to ArcoLinuxD.com, and the web page I just showed you is now on my second screen. That's not recording, right? So it starts with disable secure boot and all that, legacy mode, etc, etc. You just scroll through. What I'm gonna go do is scroll to the text that has a blue border. So in my case, I need to have load keys, BE, Latin 1, there's a German one, there's so many choices, and that's explained on the page how to get it. So UEFI is selected. I know it's selected. I must be connected to the internet because I'm a virtual machine. So the next thing is time date CTL set NTP true. That's okay. So my check is everything still okay? CF disk. So since I did already the Arch install, this is something I need to format, delete for example. The SDA2, I delete that one as well, so I'll give a free space again. Then we scroll. Let's see what we take. 525 I see. So let's follow what's on there. Let's go to the last one. So free space. Oh, new. 30.5 gigs is a bit much for VVAT. So the boot / boot EFI thing is gonna be 525 I see here. I think I should write it like this, MB. It's less now. When I say 525, I get 500. Doesn't really matter. It's very tiny, so 500 is good. And type should be something else. Been a while, so where is it? UEFI system. Let's see. Yes, EFI system. Free space. Like I said, I don't like complexity, so this is my root and done. I don't need swap. No swap needed. In the video, well, in the website, we make it a little bit complexer, and there is a Linux swap, right? So in this video, no swap. Then we say Oh, second screen. Right, and you type yes. Then you quit and you say let's see if we scroll down. No. Okay. So CF disk, we've done that. We have now 2 partitions rather than 3. It's all about choices as usual. So ls block, this is what we get: SDA1, SDA2. Scrolling down, formatting partitions. We've sliced everything into pieces. Watch out, Eric. So only the blue ones I'm gonna check. Make me a system. These are the choices: FAT, F32, device SDA1. That's that. So the make swap is not needed. And then make file system Ext4. You can see you can use the older ones as well. Ext4, and then device. I have to watch out because on the website it says 3. We have 2 partitions, so 2, and that's that. You can choose other things I say on the website, ButterFS or RiserFS, Xfce4, F2FS, JFS. It's just the partitioning. Mount things. Let's mount device SDA2, since 3 does not exist, onto mount, and then make directory inside mount called boot. And then if you plan to use systemd with the article, nope, we're not gonna do that. Make directory, you can choose between systemd boot or grub. We're gonna go for a simple grub. Served as well the last 6 years. All right, that's another folder. Check and check. And then we mount device SDA1 into boot TF5. That's it. Scrolling down, select the mirrors. Nano etc pacman.d, the mirror list. Reflector has been busy and Osbeck has won again, like always. One of the fastest servers for me around, for many people actually. And then scrolling down, then we go for nano etc pacman.conf. And one of the things I hate about these things is I could easily have a parallel download in 20 with the latest, newest contract for internet. So depending on the internet service provider, depending on how much you pay, you up your parallel downloads. And then backstrap inside mount, put this stuff inside mount. Because now there's nothing in there. This is going to go in there, and as you see, 20 lines. It's quite fast. So let's scroll. The only thing is that you miss something if you scroll and you see something blue. Well, you miss something blue, then you can start over again. We've all been there. Nobody likes to do the job twice. Voila, done. We're gonna generate oops, wrong screen, generate this. In here, as that, and this is just a check, or shouldn't really do that if you trust yourself. There's no need to do this, but right, since it's one of the important files, better check that you have an SDA2, Ext4, root, and an EFI. Fine, that's cool. And then scroll down, and then we're out of here. So this is the live environment. This is us moving to the future system. This is how you fix your computer as well. So learn how to use Arch-Root. Many videos about it. So we're in there. First thing they say is make a link -s and with force user share zone info Europe Brussels. You find out what you should fill in there. Etc local time, so go from etc local time is pointing to that file, and then the hardware clock systo.hc, scrolling down locale. That was the no etc locale .gen. Then we go for 1, 2, 3, and that's enough. Here is enus x, looking for the language. The system will have, voila. So nano etc locale conf should be lang. Well, there are two ways. What it says, what it is set in the website is go type it here, lang equals en underscore us utf -8. Put this inside this. So that's what we've put in there. And I'm checking for typos. Okay. Another one for the key map. That it knows that I need Azerty, not QWERTY. So if you need QWERTY, you skip all this. .conf. Voila. Nano etc vconsole. All right. Scrolling down, host name, shorter alternative is echo arch linux inside etc host name. We're not gonna read it again, it's in there. Nano etc hosts, enter 127.0.0.1 tap local host 1 tap local host 127.0.0.0.1. Okay, and tap arch linux local domain arch linux. Give it a name. Okay, Ctrl X, yes please. Scrolling down, network configuration. We do love our pacman -s network manager for after 6 years, reliable. It just works. The only thing is, remember to enable it. Use it, in other words. And it's typed like this. Watch out for the capital letters. 3 lines, you're good. Then we need to have a password. It's going to be a super difficult password. Done. And then bootloaders, grub, BIOS, refine, systemd, boot, grub. Pacman -s, grub, and EFI, boot manager, gr. That's good. Then we grub install, target equals Xfce4. EFI directory equals, we've put it in boot EFI. That looks good. An O, not a 0. Output goes to there you go. Not a part of the standard installation. Okay, only do this if you need it, so we're not gonna do it. Okay, systemd, also alternative, then rebooting. Rebooting means exit, means unmounting whatever has been mounted in here, and rebooting. So this was the phase 1. Slicing everything into partitions, formatting things, putting stuff in the boot folder, and also putting stuff in the root folder. And what we get is this nice black thing. So if you scroll on the page, you go to next step, which leads you to phase 3. Boot from your SSD. There's also the refined option possibly. Then we have root as login. Password you've given it, and then confirm network will work. Nano etc pacman.conf again, right, again, a nuisance 5020 and Control X, yes, from 5 to 20, not 50. AOR helpers, we can skip this. Multilib, we can do it later. It's always, well, right, choices. Pacman -s bash completion, another choice. I don't like to type everything, I like to use tab. Done. Personal account, that's important. Can't stay root, so I need to be Eric. I need to have my own account, not the root account. Users. I would like to be in groups like audio, video, network, and wheel, an important one. Audio, video, network, wheel, storage, RF kill, and the shell I like to have bin bash, and my name is Eric. Done. The password for Eric is a very difficult password. And then we're gonna say that I'm not just the user. I need to be able to install some stuff, right? vsudo, I'll get there. Nano vsudo. Okay. Tab, one up again. And we're looking for wheel all, so this one. No, that one. Uncommon, to allow members of group wheel to execute any command. One lower is no password at all. Wouldn't recommend it. Just do this. Wheel all. So 4 alls and wheel. Remember that. Control X, yes, enter. And then I say exit. Since I've created myself an account, I can say Eric. I can log in. And then we're in. Sudo pacman -s yyuu. and it works, right? If I could not update the system, something was wrong, right? I did something wrong in previous steps. So I'm in, yes. At the bottom of the page, we're going for the next step again. Let us get graphical is the title, and we want to have something else than this black screen. -s, the Xorg server, and the Xorg apps, and the Xorg Xinit. And if you like to have a terminal of kind, then you have to get, for example, Xterm. So scrolling down, graphics driver, ATI, Intel, NVIDIA, not needed on virtual machine, otherwise yes, do install them. Learn what you need from the Arch Wiki. Here they say install Lightdm, and let's do this because we have ArcoLinux has SADM by default. So sudo pacman -s, Lightdm is one of the other greeters or login managers. There's more than this one. There's also Lightdm, and then the GTK greeter. You see, this is the bash completion. Lightdm. Now we can look around. I say I'd like to have that one as well, and on it goes. Now you have to tell the system, hey, I want to use that. So sudo systemctl, enable this please for me, Lightdm, and it's enough if you type this, he knows it's about the service, and if you don't see the line, something went wrong. So now we've enabled Lightdm, but behind Lightdm there's nothing, right? Behind Lightdm there is no desktop. So the next step is me making decisions. We have 30-ish desktops and tiling window managers. Which one will we take? So I'm now at the next page, choose a desktop. I see I've made LeftWM and Xfce4. I see here GDM. I see then Cutefish, FVWM, Awesome is here, i3 is here, DWM is here, SpectreWM is here. So it's just a choice. What do I want after the Lightdm? Right? It's just a choice. Now, maybe I should do my preference and then show you that even if you have that desktop, it gives you a variety of choices. And you know, of course, what I'm gonna do now. Sudo pacman -s Xfce4 and Xfce4 goodies. Many of our tiling managers use elements that you see here, because the way Xfce is built up is that these things are separate. In Plasma it's often install something. If you want to install an app and you get the whole system, the whole operating system with it. In Xfce you can actually say, I just want to have pieces, bits and pieces of Xfce, and still it will work, right? So my preference would be an Xfce4 and then an CHDWM or an i3 or a BSPWM or an Xmonad or a Qtile, right? Something else besides the desktop, a tiling window manager. So this is how fast it goes if you have 20 parallel. And then we boot up and see if everything kicks off. So we have a all-in-one video. This is what we call an all-in-one ArcoLinux installation UEFI with Xfce, right? That would be the title. And it still needs a lot of work, and that's why we have the ArcoLinux, because hey, we don't have the time to do all this, and now we have to start installing. Oh, look at that, the key is not, the keyboard is not okay. So that's my first fix. Go to the settings, go to settings manager, to the keyboard, and say, my dear friend, your layout is not okay. All right, So we need to go to use system defaults, forget about that, and then add Belgian. This one is going down, removing it, and close, right? So again, sudo pacman -s Firefox. Did we? No, we don't. Let me do a no. One of the things that's interesting is to remember you get here the 8 providers. I like to use number 2 because another fonts is the default fonts we use, right? So maybe do it right now in one go, and when installing Firefox, get another fonts. So now I have Firefox. We can have a look around in the world. What we can do is continue the video, which is now 31 minutes. So 31 minutes and you get yourself an operating system. But it's not complete. It's not the way, yeah, it's not really usable. It's fine, it's okay, but it's basic. And one of the things I did previously in the beginning of the video, remember that we have an Arch install. What I did was go to Firefox, Paru, Trizen, yay, none of them are there. So GitHub Paru is what I did. Let's take our resolution a little bit higher. Voila. So this thing, basically they say here what you should do. Already done. Sudo pacman -s git. That's there. Let's go in there and then make package. Right, make package -si, and he's happy with a small s. Yes, sure, Rust. So Paru is an AOR helper. If you have no clue what we're talking about, AOR helper ArchWiki. What you need to do, start everything with, is ArchWiki. ArchWiki system sound, ArchWiki Bluetooth, ArchWiki NVIDIA, ArchWiki whatever, right? And then you read. These are the AOR helpers. What is AOR? Follow the links. And here we have Paru somewhere in here. Paru from AOR, meaning you can't sudo pacman -s it, you need to build it. Anything AOR, you need to build, and this is building. Building takes time. And that's why we have on ArcoLinux 800 plus packages on our repo, just because we don't want to build. Time saving. Also bandwidth saving, of course. You have to download everything before you can build it. And everything is all the dependencies, everything it needs. And later on you're gonna update everything it needs. So there's a lot of things here. You don't need to know everything. Neither do I. But it's building. If it's done building, well, you can do lots of things. That's always your Linux thing, right? There's a lot of freedom in Linux. You can do whatever you want. And one of the things is that we install the Spices applications, and that is explained in here. Open a new tab. If you install the Spices application, you can you can follow all this and many videos, as you see, about the Spices application. Basically what it does is install, now already finishing here, install the keys and the mirrors, and then you can install stuff with sudo pacman -s from the ArcoLinux repos. So Paru is done, meaning Paru is, I don't know, theme, Paru theme. I can look up anything from the AOR. There are 2270 mentions of a theme. Can be a theme from Grub as well, or GTK or Plasma, but just the word theme. Paru is there. Next, I did in the other video, in the other system before this installation, I did Paru ArcoLinux. Then I saw that there is the ArcoLinux app glade there, so number 3. Install that. This is a queue. Yes, enter. Yes, enter. Then AAG is installed. So there are different ways of doing things. So Spices is one of them, and you'll see Spices is in there as well. So if you've installed Glade, the ArcoLinux app Glade, you type AAG, and installing here, well, maybe we should have a look at the nano etc pacman.conf, right? Just your standard ArcoLinux stuff. When we run install and run ASI, so the Spices application, basically we're running one thing inside the other one, apply this command pacman -u. So the Spices is part of the app glade. The keys are in, the repos are in. Move it. If we go and have a look again, you'll see that at the end we have repo extra large, repo third party, the repo, and the testing repo. If we update the system, which is not update but sudo pacman -syyu, we get this, and immediately we get the change of the numbering system, because this is a GitHub number and that one is an actual number, 2023 from June, the 6th version, and here as well there's something of a version number difference, and we just install it. So that's that. If we can want to install the ATT, we can do as well. Also a pacman -u, you see here. And with pacman, well, sorry, with the ATT, the ArcoLinux 3 tool, we can install anything, all the desktops we have. And if you've watched a few videos of mine, you know that I'm on Chdwm, and that's the thing I would like to install as well here, ATT. And then I'm a happy guy, right? I got Xfce, a desktop that, if and when, has not happened yet, but never say never. If a tiling winner manager fails, you're inside TTY. Don't like being in TTY, make sure you have a desktop. That's all I can say. So starting with Xfce, XL has Xfce, XS has Xfce, with the Zen kernel, with the Zenmod kernel, with, right? Different kernels. Choose, and then it's up to you. Maybe you'd like to do some kind of combo like I did. Well, do, not did. And you have Xfce and you have Chadwm. The only thing you have to figure out, anyway, in virtual machine, VirtualBox here, is make it bigger. So Xrender or auto render, stuff like that. But this is your system. Now update, look at that. So there we go again, update. Again, I have my Azerty key is gone here. It's a tiling winner manager, it's not Xfce. So stuff to figure out is always going to be present. Probably did a mistake somewhere in the beginning. But here you have Xfce and switch around. We're back. So things I will continue my stuff, and by stuff I mean that if you did this the way I've shown you now, there is something called get nemesis on ATT. My advice is, if you want to start venturing your way on your own, right, then you go and make a copy of this and change it any way you see fit. And all you need to do after an Arch install is run 0. And it doesn't really matter. So do you want to install CHDWM on your system? No, because it's already there, right? And off we go. It just does it work. It follows its scripting. And in the end, I even made scripts. If I'm on Big Linux, do this. If I'm on EndeavourOS, do that. If I'm Garuda, do that. If I'm Reborn OS, do this. And at the very beginning, I do the same. 400. Remove software if I'm Garuda. Remove this if I am on EndeavourOS and stuff. Because in the end, I try to convince you that since February 2022, it's all Arch Linux. The basis, you've seen the video, it comes from the archlinux.org. But if we see it a little bit later, it kind of looks like ArcoLinux. And of course it does, because it's Arch plus packages plus AOR. And we try to explain you that in another website. So this is the information. Woo, crash, restart, submitting your report. Is it gonna come back, or do I need to ask it again? Look, and in the meantime, Chromium is there, Discord is there, so I just walk away, right? I let the script install the stuff that I need, the decisions, the choices in sync, the stuff that I want. Now there are 2 of them. So I wanted to go to ArcoLinux.info, I believe, yes, and just show you quickly. Start here, learning path, ArcoLinux editions, know what to choose. But in here, ArcoLinux is 93% Arch, 4% Arco, and the rest is AOR. We just made a test at some point in time. Bottom line, it will be around these percentages, like 90% Arch, 5% Arco, and 5% AOR, right? In total, in overview. So it is interesting to have something this modular, flexible, to make anything from it, anything really. And I'm trying to make you see that it's all Arch Linux. You can do so many things with it, and trying to push you to learn and read what's in here and decide whether you, well, use it or change it, because it's not that difficult. I mean, start by copy pasting, start by running, and then change this, small change, change that, small change. Package manager installs without asking yes, no, and if it's already there, if it's needed, if it's already there, I will just skip it and say it's there already. So I can run it again and it won't be installed again, it will just skip it. That's the fun with the scripts. You run it and run it and run it again and again and again with checks. If you're on Plasma, if the file exists, then you're on Plasma. Plasma related applications. I'll install this, but if it's not available, it will not install it, it'll skip it. If we are on Xfce, you did this and this and that, right? It is this that makes it granular, that makes it small and detailed, and it's the rising, and the rising is here as well. Here are settings, files that I change. I want to have this file, that file, all the files for console or stuff like that. Everything is in here. You can do 2 things: copy paste file A to there, or change a line in a file. that's even smaller. So it's up to you. The code is there. Learn from it. Use it. Don't use it. It's all good. It's the freedom in Linux. Let's have a look what we get. So, as you see, automatically a nice wallpaper and a nice theme. I don't have to bother with it after another clean installation and another clean installation. Run the scripts, right? Go change this, go change that, done. Why should I do that manually over and over again? Why can a script not do that? And we have Wallhaven for the wallpapers. Abstract, minimal space, sci-fi, and at some point in time they will come in. So he's communicating with Wallhaven, and there's one. Now, sometimes, and I think this is one of the sometimes, what I need to do is to close variety, quit, run it again. Alt N is not going to work, I guess, because the keyboard shortcuts are not there, but it will be there in Tiling Window Manager, for example. But if it's not working, enough wallpapers, but one of them should work. But the default variety settings do not seem to kick in. So the reflex is sudo pacman -s. Does ArcoLinux have its own variety settings? Right? Two of them. Variety git and ArcoLinux I want to auto start it. Then we do a scal. There's already something in there. Conflicting files. So sudo remove etc scal dot config variety config. Gone. Install it and scale it. So it's also in my own system. Now super X log out. Log in. Alt N. Well, the link, I always forget, the key bindings are not there. But the key, well, the variety is kicking in, right? So it needs to have the config, our config, for it to work the way we want it. Here are the fishies. Now, since I did a copy paste scal, I forgot I deleted the new ones from Wallhaven. Normally, voila, I do var with var changed. This is what you get. They're back. They're back in. This is some space stuff, and let's end with the space stuff. Voila. So we got ourselves the look, and if you really want to have a similar look as ArcoLinux, you can, because it is in the end all the same. It's just Arch with some packages, some settings, some configs, and there you are. Maybe we should end with a Control T, neo fetch. We're on ArcoLinux, and sure, we're also on ArcoLinux. So sudo pacman -remove. This is it. the choices of the moment. And if I want to have more, all I have to do is install one of these guys. All right. Enjoy ArcoLinux, enjoy learning, enjoy our project. Cheers.